Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as ScreenSpeak, and in today's video, this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a little while, and I've never known when to quite make it. Well, today is the day. Today I am going to be ranking, not the best, but my top 10 composers of all time. So without further ado, let's rank. Alright, so as I preface this is a top 10 video of my favorite composers. Now I want to give a brief little bit of housekeeping and information. So this is the first one on this list that you see right here. Before I talk about it, this was going to be movie composers, and then I had a brief I made on a whim. I was going to ask somebody, but I'm like, you know what? This is my list. So I'm including someone, a TV composer, but I haven't done full-on research if he's done movies or not. I think he's only done TV based off of this. It says English film and TV composer, so this is movie composers. So I might title the movie, but I know him from from TV show. So with that said, let's kick this list off. Number 10 is Murray Gold. Now, by the way, I also have other news. I love music so much that I had to make this video for you, and I thought I haven't seen anybody else do this before, and this is something that, like, my channel, I've rebranded my channel, and I had to get this out to you. I wanted to share this with the movie world, the movie community, and with the community I love. So if people, like, I'd share this with people that I like, so, like Sean Chandler, John Campea, so forth. So this is, number 10 is Murray Gold. And I known him. I grew up with him with the show Doctor Who. Apparently he did Shameless as well. I've never seen Shameless. I've heard good things. I've seen it on Netflix before. So it's cool. Doctor Who from David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, are like that era with Murray Gold is Christopher Eccleston starting out. Christopher Eccleston, and then David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Peter Capaldi. That run with Murray Gold is like the best era of Doctor Who music in history. And then you get into Jodie Whittaker, and it's not great because it's not him. And then you get back after Jodie Whittaker when David Tennant returns for the 60th specials, and Ncuti Gatwa and Murray Gold's back, and it's awesome. I'm glad Murray Gold is returning, even though if you're not a fan of Doctor Who anymore, I'm glad that Murray Gold has returned, and Murray Gold has some of the best tracks ever. If you want to listen to one of my favorite tracks by Murray Gold, listen to The Shepherd's Boy. It's like one of the most charming, it's like How to Train Your Dragon style solemn music with just great melody in it. It's awesome. And I just like what Murray Gold brings to his tracks. So kind of a recurring theme here. I like everyone on this list, but I had to put Murray Gold in last because it's a guy from the TV, from the show I love, Doctor Who, but I also respect, it's like the best, one of the best things from that era of Doctor Who, and the longest era of Doctor Who, I would say. I mean, not that there's like the early old Doctor Who classic, but you know, Jodie Whittaker was a short run time, and I like Jodie Whittaker's era, but you know, it's not Murray Gold. The music's not Murray Gold, so, yeah. Number 9 is Junkie XL, also known as Tom Holkenborg. And this is a guy who worked on, I mean, you can see all the stuff he's done on here. He's done Sonic the Hedgehog, he's done Fury, he did Fury Road. What is this down here? Is that Fury Road itself? That's right, well, Rebel Moon wasn't great, but he did the two Godzilla vs. Kong movies, which were, I liked the first one. I didn't really watch the second one, so I'm sorry. But he's a good guy. I like this stuff. And what brings him just a little bit above the, like I said, Murray Gold, I listen to all Doctor Who soundtracks. Like, it's the best thing since sliced bread. But him, I feel like with his stuff, with his movies, like the Sonic movies soundtracks are pitch perfect. I mean, are phenomenal. And then you got the Mad Max movies, which have like epic, tense music in this dystopian wasteland when they're driving their cars and the vroom vroom and all that sort of stuff. It's really good. It's really makes the world feel lived in, like, you know, every soundtrack should. But I just like his sense of epicness to his soundtracks. So, I don't know, it's hard, like I said, like everybody, when I'm watching Sean's channel and like his things, it's so hard to rank movies and things in particular, and this was a hard list to make, but I ended up putting this one above Murray Gold, but sometimes it just depends like what I really enjoy listening to on a different day. Number 8 is Hans Zimmer, and this is one I had to place above Junkie XL, Tom Hogenborg. The reason he's called Junkie XL, that's like his stage name. And Hans Zimmer has done a lot of cool stuff, but I know people like place him as number 1. But the things I know him from, let's take a look real quick. He's done, well, I shouldn't shame him and say like hasn't done stuff I like. He did Kung Fu Panda 4, he's done that. Funny enough, Are You There, Guys? Me, Margaret. Let's take a look at some other stuff here. Dune Part 2, I love that one. That's one of my top 5 movies of all time. No Time to Die. Dune Part 1, Boss Baby, Wonder Woman 1984. Okay, Dunkirk, the Kung Fu Panda movies, Interstellar, Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I like that. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Lone Ranger was a decent score enough. The Dark Knight movie, Sherlock Holmes with that one, which I ranked. I like that one. Rango, Megamind, Inception, Despicable Me. He did not do Despicable Me. Well, maybe he did the first one with. And then Pirates of the Caribbean. And we'll also grab it Crystal Bear Rabbit. So he's done some good stuff in there. For me, though, if I'm listening to a soundtrack score, I'm going to listen to something by Hans Zimmer once and then be done with it. It's not something that I particularly like. I'm going to listen to Hans Zimmer every day. It's like, this is where he's sitting for me, and it's good enough. I love Pirates of the Caribbean score. I love the Dune score. I love this, but I gotta listen to it on a specific time of a specific day to really enjoy it enough. And I hope, and I'm sure everyone agrees with that. Like, he's a really good direct composer, but it depends on when I'm listening to it. It's not like higher ones on this list, like, I'm listening to this throughout the entire day, nonstop. So that's where Hans Zimmer sits for me. Next up on the list, number 7, we got Mr. Christoph Beck. And now this one, like I just mentioned with Hans Zimmer, is one that I would listen to. Now, I know many people would say, you suck, you don't like Hans Zimmer better than this random Joe. Like, yes, I understand that Hans Zimmer might do some things that better, like the Dune score. Dune is a fantastic movie. But Christoph Beck is one that, like, his scores with the Ant-Man movies, with Free Guy. Now, Shazam, the second one, I don't think is a great movie, but the fact that Christoph Beck did it is a great one. And Christoph Beck did the first 2 Frozen movies. I say first 2 because there's only 2 good ones, so I don't know like why 3 would be any good. But The Christmas Chronicles was a great movie. I've never seen that one. And there's, you know, the Hangover movies. Edge of Tomorrow I need to watch. Crazy Stupid Love, I didn't even know he did that. But just a lot of things that, just a lot of things here. And I like Christoph Beck, like I said, with the Ant-Man movies. They're watchable, they're listenable soundtracks. If that's even a word, I just made something up. But they're re-listenable. I made another word. They're soundtracks you can listen to over and over and over again. I mean, the same with Hans Zimmer, but this one just comes a little bit higher for me than Hans Zimmer. Just because I'm a big fan of the Ant-Man soundtracks. Because when I listen to the Ant-Man soundtracks, I actually like reenact the scene that's going on. And especially Free Guy too. Those soundtracks are memorable. Hans Zimmer has great tracks. Don't get me wrong, like Pirates of the Caribbean, Rango, Dune. But when I'm listening to Christoph Beck stuff like Free Guy or Ant-Man, I just reenact the scene and I love doing it. So for me, that's one reason this comes up a little bit higher than Hans Zimmer. But not everyone probably does reenact the scene. So your justification and opinion is probably different. But for me, that's where I'm sitting. So, let's move on. Alright, so now we're getting into the part of the list where I think, like I said with Christoph Beck, where I was reenacting the scenes, this is the part of the time in the list where I start listening to everything. Like, this is Lorne Balfe. I stumbled on that. Lorne Balfe. And this is the one where he's done Mission Impossible, Argyle. He did the Tetris movie of all things. He did the Dungeons and Dragons movie. He did Gran Turismo. He has done the Black Adam movie, which was movie, but a baller soundtrack. He did Top Gun Maverick. He did, which I don't know why there was Top Gun Maverick when the other one, when it said Hans Zimmer. I don't know, it was all about that. Maybe Hans Zimmer and Lorne Balfe did it. I think they did, which is a great combo. Rumbo, which is on right. Black Widow. Lorne Balfe did Black Widow. Bad Boys for Life, Gemini Man, Mission Impossible, Pacific Rim, the Lego Batman movie, the Penguins of Madagascar movie, and Lego Megamind. This man, Lorne Balfe, I think Lorne Balfe did Megamind, and Hans Zimmer and Lorne Balfe did Megamind, composed Megamind and Top Gun together. So they must be friends. And like there are two spots off on this list here, but I forgot about that, and I love that. And Lorne Balfe is, like I said, like he's kind of in the middle here. Not in the middle because then the number 5's in the middle, but this is the one I could listen to. Like, I struggle with this list, but this is how good these people are. This is how much I love music. I listen to this on end, like the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning soundtrack on loop. Penguins of Madagascar is, and the Megamind soundtracks, 2 great animated films are on the list. I think the Penguins of Madagascar movie is an underrated movie. Just for the soundtrack alone, and just for the fun nature of the film, it's so good. Like, no, if anybody else composed that score, it wouldn't be that good. But since they got somebody like Lorne Balfe, because Lorne Balfe doing Dungeons and Dragons is a crazy person. But when I was watching the D&D movie, I told my dad, I was like, this is the guy that did Mission Impossible. Like, I can hear the theme song, I can hear the motifs in there from, Dead Reckoning that came out, like, earlier than the year. Or did Dungeons and Dragons come out, or whatever, from whatever it was. But doing Penguins of Madagascar is because of that spy element, and you get that Mission Impossible spy element from him. Him doing the Penguins of Madagascar is great, and I think he actually did Penguins of Madagascar before Mission Impossible, but I love that he did Lego Batman movie as well. Everything Lorne Balfe has done is banger after banger, and I love it. So this is definitely above Christoph Beck, but everything past this, like, it was difficult to put Lorne Balfe in this spot, but I did it anyway. Right, now I got Danny Elfman, the Elf Boy. And this one for me is just another reason, it's so hard to do this stuff, and he's in the middle here. I grew, like, this is classic composer level. Like, if Lorne Balfe is a modern, like, I like Lorne Balfe because he's more modern, and I put him a little bit lower. I love everything about Lorne Balfe, but I put Danny Elfman here. He's a great classic composer. And one of the things I loved about this, or loved about this year, was when Beetlejuice 2 came out, Beetlejuice, and Danny Elfman came back. One of my favorite things about a sequel, I was so mad about Guardians and Inside Out 2 that, frankly, Moana, but that's another story for another time. I already talked about that. But anyway, he's done, Mission Impossible, Men in Black International, I guess he did Doolittle and Dumbo. Those weren't great movies, but he's done, the Batman, Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas, everything Tim Burton related. You got it. He did Justice League, which is alright. He did Goosebumps movie, which was pretty good. He did Avengers: Age of Ultron. I like that soundtrack. Frankenweenie, like I said. Mr. Peabody and Sherman, Alice in Wonderland 9, Terminator Salvation, Hellboy 2. So you got some great stuff in there. Got great stuff. I love Danny Elfman. Great composer. I think that the movies, justification, like Doolittle and Dumbo aren't great movies. But like, for soundtrack alone, like the original Batman soundtrack, the Beetlejuice soundtrack, I love those so much. And the piano motifs, sounds are so good and so memorable to me that this is just one of those composers, classic. And I even wrote a paper on him back in community college, back during high school. So I am biased towards him and writing that. So for me, he just comes out one spot higher than Lorne Balfe. But again, it's all just depends on what I'm listening to each day. But this is how I placed it. Number 4 is Alan Silvestri. And this is, a pretty good spot for this guy. And he's done the Avengers movies, all 3 Avengers movies. The thing about Avengers 2 is I wish there was a cut, like how they make director's cuts, but I wish there was like a composer cut where they could show Alan Silvestri's soundtrack for Avengers: Age of Ultron. But I like that Danny Elfman got to do. He did Multiverse of Madness, which was a Sam Raimi movie, but I'm glad he did an Avengers movie. I guess it's fine, but I'm like, where's Alan Silvestri's cut? And then he did the 3 Night at the Museum movies. He did Predator, The Predator. He did Ready Player One, which is awesome. Love that movie. He did the first Avenger, the 18 movie, apparently Christmas Carol, Beowulf, The Polar Express, which is awesome, and Castaway, and some other stuff like Forrest Gump, and all the Back to the Future movies. So those are it's a really good list there, and I love all his stuff that he's done. You know, Back to the Future is great. Just great classic movies with a great soundtrack. You got a great Avengers, big blockbuster superhero stuff. So you can't go wrong with Alan Silvestri, and like I said, it's just hard to make this list, but for me, this is a great classic composer with some modern stuff in there that I like, some old stuff, some new stuff in there. But I think with the mixes in there, he just comes right above Danny Elfman because of the genre from the mix that he's done. So for me, he comes in right here. All right, so number 3 on this list is one that I struggled with desperately, and I was like, ooh. And then I was like, you know what? This is a good spot to put him in, because I was like, ooh, I love so many of these other people, like Alan Silvestri, Danny Elfman. I'm like, you know what? This is a good spot. And because he's done movies, this is what he's... Daniel Pemberton, by the way. This is Daniel Pemberton. He's done both Spider-Verse movies. The next Spider-Verse movie, Ferrari, which I haven't seen Ferrari, but that's interesting. Birds of Prey, Yesterday, Ocean's 8, Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Molly's Game. But he's also done, I don't know why it's showing that, he's also done movies, well, it's not here, but he's also done The Bad Guys. The Bad Guys movies. There's number 2. The Bad Guys 2 is coming out next year, and I'm a big fan of that movie. So yeah, The Bad Guys is great animated film. And then the 2 Spider-Verse movies, Harley Quinn. Yesterday is okay, but I forgot he did that. As well as what was the other one he did? Oh, A Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's right. I like that movie. The Guy Ritchie film. Daniel Pemberton's great. He does great. Like, he doesn't have a lot of like range, like a long list of stuff like Hans Zimmer or Christoph. I mean, Christoph Beck doesn't have a lot, but like, or Alan Silvestri or Danny Elfman. But he's a great artist at what he can do. And Daniel Pemberton kicks it with the Spider-Verse movies and The Bad Guys and everything else he does. So for me, he comes in here, like, if you haven't listened to the Spider-Verse soundtracks, you're living under a rock. But everything he does is mwah, and I've been doing that a lot in this video, maybe, but it's just something about it. His motifs, his everything, his technique. I watched a behind-the-scenes video of him doing the working on the Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack, and because of that video, like, I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, he's number 3 composer for me. So that's where I'm sitting right now. And yeah, let's get on my last 2, guys. All right. So the problem here is I'm so biased when it comes to this composer. I was just talking about Daniel Pemberton. Like, I love him so much. It was so hard for me to put him at number 3. Like, oh no. And I love the Spider-Verse soundtracks. And this is so my list here. And I know everyone could, because like, either people would be screaming if I did do that, if I didn't do it right, but I'm gonna do it right. So Michael Giacchino would be my number 1 composer anyway, if you know, you know. So he's my favorite. I mean, like, Michael Giacchino is the guy I listen to more often, like on a daily basis, because of the stuff that he's done. So let's take a look, shall we? So he's done Inside Out 2. Well, actually, no. Wait, why is it? Okay, this makes me mad. He did not do Inside Out 2. I don't know why that's there. That pisses me off. He did If, which was a great movie, great soundtrack. Werewolf by Night. He actually directed Werewolf by Night, which is, honestly, I would have made him number 1 because he directed this, but it's not whatever. Thor: Love and Thunder, Lightyear. Still great soundtrack, especially with bad movies. Jurassic World Dominion, The Batman, No Way Home, I don't know what Extinct is, Jojo Rabbit, Spider-Man Far From Home, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Did he really compose Ralph Breaks the Internet? I don't think he did. I think that was Henry Jackman. The both Incredibles movies, all the Jurassic movies, Planet of the Apes movies, Rogue One, Doctor Strange, it's the first Inside Out, apparently those 2 Toy Story movies, and then Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol, and Cars 2, and Up, and then the Star Trek new trilogy, and Ratatouille. Some great stuff in there. Like, all of that is great. This is my, like, neck and neck composer for number 1. And I love everything that he's done. He never misses. And we're getting him, he's composing Fantastic Four next year, and his son composed Zootopia Plus on Disney Plus, shorts on Disney Plus. His son composed the Penguin soundtrack, which was awesome. I love the main theme from that. And his son is composing Skeleton Crew for Star Wars on Disney Plus right now. Awesome. I love his son. They must use the same orchestra because it sounds exactly the same, and I love it so much. Everything that he does, his son does, is amazing. And I hope his son was like, I want to do it too, or whatever. I just love it so much. So, Michael Giacchino kicks it. I mean, his son's up there as well. I mean, but like, I would put his son like right next to him. But I mean, it's just like the same person. His son is like the same person. So, Michael Giacchino comes number 2 for me, but very close to number 1. But we're gonna go to what number 1 is. But I hope you guys love it. Did he? He also did Speed Racer. That's incredible. I didn't even know that. He did Speed Racer too. Anyway, let's move on to my numero uno spot. So, number 1 is John Williams. And you might not be surprised, but I struggle because I think what Michael Giacchino's done is he's taken these projects and like made his own John Williams-ness inside of him, which I really appreciate. And I feel like many people don't know. My friend's mom, I'm not going to name names, one of my friend's moms, loves Michael Giacchino, and I like talking about it with her. And John Williams has great classic themes like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, Home Alone, and you know, The Fabelmans. He did The Fabelmans a couple years back, which is a great movie. So, and other Steven Spielberg things like E.T. and such, and Jaws. But I love John Williams, his scores. But I don't go enough back to those films. Like, it's just something like, I like those movies growing up. But Michael Giacchino, like, it's like neck and neck. I feel like Michael Giacchino is the next John Williams. And of all these people I mentioned, Michael Giacchino is the next John Williams. Even though Lorne Balfe has done some pretty great things, and Hans Zimmer has done some pretty great things, Michael Giacchino is the next John Williams. And I'm here to say it. You heard it here first, guys, that Michael Giacchino is the next John Williams. So, to me, that is John Williams is number 1, but Michael Giacchino is number 2, and up there in history for the next movie composers. So those are my top 10 movie composers of all time. Let me know if you enjoy my list and enjoy the video. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with all? Do you think I suck in ranking things? Just let me know your honest, crucial, honest thoughts. Don't forget to leave a like if you did. Let me know your list in the comments below. What, like, if you have other people you like, if you would rank this list differently. Maybe you don't even know who Murray Gold is because you don't watch Doctor Who, and that's totally fair. To me, there are like other TV composers I would have put on here, but Murray Gold is a film composer, so I left it there. You know, the Cobra Kai soundtrack's great. I love the Rick and Morty soundtrack, but to me, those are TV shows. Actual TV shows. So, thank you guys so much for watching this list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy it. Let me know your list of how you would rank this in the comments below if you would. I'd like to hear read your list. So, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me at Boba Fett J Master. Instagram link is down below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, watch the screen. Peace out, everyone. Bye.